for that delay, but welcome back to some programming. I am going to lose my mind. I apologize for that massive delay. I have no good argument other than just YouTube was having a fucking shit. And because of that, it just fucked me over. Genuinely, there's nothing else I can say. Okay, I'm actually really upset by that, because like I had to basically make a second stream just to test if it was just the first stream. It was all sorts. Oh, it's never pleasant. Alright, let's get YouTube music going. Oh my god. Yeah, so that's a great fucking start to the day. I've had a headache most of the morning. Got bugger all sleep last night. And now my fucking stream shite's been going fucking everywhere. Alright. There we go. That should be right now. My sanity is just draining by the minute. Alright. Fuck. The fuck was I doing today? Programming, that's right. Oh. It's gonna be an interesting day. Alright. So since I last showed this program, I haven't done, I'd like to say I haven't actually done all that much inside the program. I've been prepping for a few things. So if you see now, this is called controller main. That's because I'm in the process of setting up controllers for each individual core basically thing. So there's an there's an enemy controller specific for them. I have not removed from the main controller yet, and I haven't made a way because I haven't made a way for these to spawn. As well, so what we'll be doing is going through a process of basically enabling some of this stuff to work. You might wonder, why are you doing this instead of doing some of the more interesting stuff? It's because this is what's necessary at the moment. For readability and efficiency's sake, I'm making a couple more objects basically to clean up on some issues that I do have, which is the fact that, like, at the moment, right? So exclude the fact that, like, end step and begin step are empty. So we can actually probably just get rid of these for now. We have 2 alarms, which I believe technically these aren't working correctly. So, Then we have the player take damage, which needs more structure for it in the future. We'll leave it alone for now, but... And then we have the EXP pickup here. But the thing is, this step event is, well, albeit like a lot of this could get removed, there is a good chunk of this that does not need to belong in the player. For example, a lot of this heal stuff here. Why does this need to belong in the player? Like, these control things I could make a very solid argument for, but not the rest. Now, that kind of brings me to this idea that, yeah, maybe I should change this up. So what I'm going to be doing now, overall, is I'm going to be putting a lot of rules on. Good lord, this song. I'm going to be putting a bit more emphasis on actually making these objects handle a lot of these things. So like enemy handling, activation, spawn, collection, all that sort of stuff, that'll be handled by specific objects. Okay, so sorry, I've got my book right in front of me. I need to move that. Oh, so I will not deny that it's probably not going to be as interesting as some of the stuff in the past has been, but you kind of have to work with me on this one. Sorry, it's it is the annoyance of this stuff. Okay, so no, it's instance create. That's right. In game, what are the? I'll just put it in instances. So, control a player. And then control a enemy. So at the moment, the controller player. So what was this one? This is the collection? Yeah. And then this is the, let's see, so this is weapon pausing. And then, yeah. So the reason why we've got this here is, so I've talked a bit about this before. There is a problem that I was going to be having with switching between rooms, is that like in this creative end up here, we have a bunch of numbers that need to be set immediately and all that sort of stuff. Sure, that's fine. But we also had a lot of things that need to be reset between rounds. This means I don't have to reset a lot of these between rounds now. So, give me a second. I'm just going through everything in my head. This is again the problem I do have with a little bit of some of this is it's a lot of little things that I need to make sure are done. So this is going to be where I start doing the risky stuff. I'm going to start deleting events. Gee, maybe I should grab before I... okay. It's in room start. I need collection timer, this one. So we'll have that there for now. I need to be able to just get like this info basically sorted out going into the round. So what I will have here is I will I don't think that's necessary, that one. Also, there's a couple of these that I do need to make sure I do carefully. Okay, yeah, because character selecting here, so this is what I need to pay attention to. So these I need to ensure aren't getting augmented. I might need to move, I might need to move some of this functionality over to the controller. That's fine. It's easy enough. I'm going to instead move this onto a second screen so I can have a look at it as I go. Okay. And this one. Okay, good lord, you do not want to see what's going to be my second screen for a little bit. No, I can't move that one over. Okay, can I can't remember, can you make split workspace on this? No, you can't, I don't think. I can make secondary screen ones and I can make different windows. Convert to jam visual. God, this would be a mess to try and convert to visual. Some of these. Okay. Because I know the time sources here have changed. And that's a big one that needs to be fixed. Also, yes, the light's going to be low, like yesterday. For the same argument, but a different headache. Okay, so we're gonna get all of this create event done, then So I need to change these to what they are here. Okay. And then I need to remove a couple from here. Sprite scale. Okay, that should be good. I dread to do this, but I'm going to just quickly launch the game and see if it actually runs. Everything should have its core functionality going. That's something that's not right. Okay, just make them undefined. Actually, technically, if it's an undefined, it should be -1. It seems like that's not working correctly because that's 7 spots total. And EXP doesn't seem to be triggering right. Yeah, the fly 2 is not working. Okay. That's perfectly reasonable. That just means that currently this player controller is not functioning correctly. don't fly, I do not believe has been set correctly. Has it? No, it's set in the object, that's it. Yeah, it's set inside here, so it's pulling from that point. Okay. Oh. See, this is what happens when you do optimization, is that you find fucking things that don't work properly anymore. Alright. Oh, you know, yesterday was fucking long as hell. The work that I had to do for uni. At least I have like a good idea of one of my first assignments that I can start working on, and I'm going to start working on that this week, even though technically not getting told it till next week. I got enough details to work off of it, so I'll start working on that in my free time now. So again, this is why like I kind of want to use the stream times like I've got at the moment to keep working on this project, because otherwise this project's not going to keep getting worked on. There's a very good shout that what work I do today on stream is going to be what you see if I do another stream next week, and that's it. I might get like maybe sneak in a bit of extra, but not much. It's really bad for time now. Okay, well, there is one thing I do want to probably do. Just as a safety net. Have I done something weird to the GUI for this? Sadly enough, can't test that. Wait a minute. I think that's actually what's supposed to do. Okay, so it is 7 in length. Why is it 7 in length? I specifically requested 6. Okay, I think I have an idea, but I need to know what the... Yeah, because it's these. If I change these to 0s, is this going to change it? I think I know what's happening, and I hate if that's the case. That doesn't seem to be a thing. Okay, let me just write around some things. I will do... This one. Global dot now this shouldn't work initially, right? Okay. Okay. I'm starting to see a lot of fucking issues now turn up. This is actually a really good thing that I've done this. Okay. And then what's this one? Argument 0 is not an array. Yes, I know it's not. Okay, so that's trying to apply itself to an array before it is ready for it. I thought I made those before it actually tries to equip. Okay, so create event for the object player. Oh. Here. So it's still 7 for some reason. It shouldn't be 7 in length. Why is it 7? It's adding this, not making it this. So then that's a good shout that I can't do that, and I just need to make it so it purges all to -1. Yeah, so I have to have these at the controller, create event, like that. And then I just need to run a small function to reset them. So if I can't do them there, so we'll just comment these out a little bit. Because I want to do the cleanup at the beginning of each round, not after. So maybe that's actually better, because then it's not holding data. I probably should just do the cleanup at the end, shouldn't I? Can I do a not on a Switch? Okay, fucking programming. Because it's giving me a bunch of things. See if it's fun with this. Because I want to see if I can use a... God, that's useful. Okay, yeah, fall through is an option, but no, don't want that. Because it only does equal, right? Can I put a knot on the thing? No, I don't think I can. I think it's fine to just leave these alone and just have a reset for them inside the main. Because that would probably be just safer. So when they touch here is when they get changed. Okay, so if I do that, we go back to the here. This should work fine then now, right? That's just even more confusing. Why is it gaining in length the moment I enter main, the game room? That is fascinating. Also, I should, because otherwise that's gonna really affect some of it. Yeah, so it extends by 1 for some reason upon entering the room. What am I doing that manipulates it? Just this, right? Is this the wrong... Give me a second. Is this adding a bloody slot, is it? I think I need array set here, not insert. I think insert's actually just increasing it, and it was not noticeable before. Yeah, okay, so insert was the problem. That's easy enough to fix then. Cool, that's done. Oh yeah, that was okay. So now we're all good, right? I can hide that other thing. Yeah, it should be fine. Okay, I need to test the EXP because that wasn't working for a second. May have been because it was conflicting, because I hadn't removed the other bit yet. So I need to kill something. Yeah, so that is not running at the moment. So why is this not running? This shouldn't have to actually check for this anymore. And it should not have to check for that either. Okay. Wait, I just realized something. Give me a second, I want to go check on something. Yeah, I never fucking did. Yeah, it's right there. Okay, give me a second. Okay, this seems really weird, what I just did there. That's because I have a function for game end. That is literally just game end, but this means that I can implement things to occur at the end of the game. If I do it this way, and this means I can make sure it works. Okay. Button constructor. Yeah. Sorry, I am just reading a lot of older little bits and pieces here and there. So this alarm isn't working, or it's conflicting. Shouldn't be conflicting though, because I remove this, right? Yeah. So why is it not running? Oh. Oh, pardon me, sorry. Because this should just trigger on create, right? God, I do not understand alarms all too well anymore, I'll be honest. They're a bit of a mixed bag for me. So we don't want these here anymore because we're not going to bother clearing the lists up. Oh, sorry. I know, it's really annoying seeing me yawn constantly. Also, Sin, are you still there? Because, I had a look at your message earlier. I cannot say for certain or not, but I do know that they're really easy to farm. I definitely have to look, and I don't know, is that stuff tradable? Right. That should run, right? On create, set the timer, set the alarm to the timer, and then should run it. Is there something I'm missing as to why that wouldn't work? I have done a little bit of tweaking, so let's check it now. Is it the radius? For some reason, is the radius not working correctly? Turn it to 500 and that will quickly show. So that'll be most of the screen. Should be. Oh. No. So something's going on with the alarm. Oh. I'm an idiot. Let's move past that. The problem with programming is that you see what you believe you coded, not what you actually coded sometimes. So now this should work. Yep. Cool. If you're wondering what I fucked up, because I just copy and pasted from the main controller, these functions were on the alarm 3 or alarm 2, sorry, technically. I have it all on alarm 0 now, so I hadn't changed this to reflect that. Oh, gotta love the best part of programming is it does exactly what you tell it to do. The problem is you're stupid. Okay, so that's working now. The enemy controller should be fine because all of that should be still yeah, 0 and 1, so that's fine. Okay, so I can start actually purging stuff off of here then, now that I can guarantee it's working, which is really nice. You have no idea how good it feels to actually have a lot of this code no longer just locked into one location. Like, it's really, really useful to not have it all locked to one location. Alright, sorry, I was just looking at something. Okay. So now, do I want to start implementing the UI stuff? No, I want to keep cleaning up, don't I? Because there's a few more things on player that I need to move over. So there's stuff about heal that I wanted to move. I'm gonna have this underneath, so I want to be able to do this code. Okay. So there's a very easy way to see if some of this is working. In fact, actually all of this should be working really easily and can be seen. HP cutoff is working, and the text is working. Cool. Gonna spread this out a little bit more and actually have this written the way I like it now. Oh, also, I just realized something. That's a spell. It always looks good. My notes are fucking misspelt. I'm sure there's other ones that have been misspelt as well along the way, right? Like, Ooh. Yeah. That's all I can see right now. But yeah, no, that's not too surprising that there's some misspells. Some of these notes were written a little too hastily. Alright, okay. So I might also try and, because I'm gonna eventually handle like a DOT handler and another thing that's gonna be equivalent to a DOT handler. I might probably have it just sit here if I'm gonna do it. I feel like that's probably the correct thing. Just to have like a lot of the sort of, so in my head, right? If I was to optimize this programming to the point that I want to, the player would pretty much only be handling like player input and self-related stuff and simple things related to that. That's why, like, at the moment the player escape things here, though I assume, knowing me, I'm probably going to change that to not being there and probably in the controller, the main controller, because that just makes more sense. I will also probably move this here. Because that is a function mechanic that can exist outside of the player quite well. And it gives me a chance to finally fucking delete this mess that I once had. So all I need to do though is grab that. And I'll fix that in a minute. Boom. Yeah, I should probably just put input in here. So now EXP should be handled external to the player again. Again, the less events that are on a singular object, the easier it is to manage, because it's just easier to find that info. That's why, like, I do want to handle, probably damage will still probably be handled on the player, because that's just going to probably be easier. But there's going to be a lot of events around taking damage as well that are going to be lifted up to the controller, the player controller, because it's just easier. Now, also, I feel like I should explain this. The term controller, this is a contentious point in programming for video games. And I do know this well before I even wrote it this way, but I chose this. Controller is not always liked because there's a misunderstanding that can occur where if you see controller, you might think, alright, which is a very fair assumption. You might think of a game controller, a gamepad. But the controller term often is used on the internal side as the thing that controls a lot of events, controls the key instances going on behind the scenes. So when I had it before, it was pretty much like a lot of the grunt work was just being done by this. This controller basically handles the initialization of the game, and it will handle a lot more later as well once I set up a couple of things. But the idea is that it just handles most of the game. It does most of the work for it. And that is why, like, it's controlling things. Like, the enemy controller is probably the easiest way to understand because it's actually handling their movement and their spawning. So it's actually controlling these events external to the item itself. So yeah, again, I cannot stress, the enemies do not actually move on their own. It's the controller that moves them for me. Like, straight up. That's what this is doing. This is moving them towards the player. See? Direction, point direction to the player. Then it's got some image scale handling to try and make it so that... Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, what I was trying to say, it has some image scaling stuff, so basically the enemy turns around relevant to the player. So if you're to their left, they'll face towards their left. If you're to their right, they'll face towards their right. As well as the depth thing here is just so, like, if the player is on top of them, then they'll be below it or above it, depending on kind of relative Y angle. God, this is so fucking ugly to look at, I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna fucking clean this up a little bit, because I know why I did what I did back when, but it just pisses me off looking at it now. Yeah. Sorry, I'm being very quiet again. I don't like the fact that I go quiet a lot, but programming does require a lot of attention, so it can go, I can go quite silent with it. Again, I'll stress at the end of the day, as I do apologize for that. I'm trying to make this as educational as I can while I'm going, but it does kind of have difficulties with that. Just to what I am doing. Whoops, that was not what I wanted to press. I wanted to press S, not D. I accidentally touched the D. Oh no, I'm tainted. Okay, so a lot of these modifiers in here probably never need to be touched, because I will be probably handling most of them inside of the controller. In here. Okay. Okay, now, the reason why I just wrote what I have, because this will probably clarify for a lot of situations. So, all of these, aside from amount, are percentage modifiers. 1 means that it's at 100%. So it's exact on the value. So if I say the cooldown is 1 second and then modify it by this cooldown, it will be 1 second. If it is 1.1, then it will be 1.1 seconds. Because it's 10% increase. Amount, on the other hand, is not something that can be decimal increased. Nor do I want it to be. The idea is that it is a checkmark system, where is amount up by 1? Yes, then that means there is 1 more of whatever. Relevant to if it can even scale with amount. Because like Iron Mike, that's intended not to scale with amount. They'll never probably scale with amount unless I want to do some freaky maths behind the scenes. Like the short answer is, if I was to do that, it would literally just be behind the scenes, all of the damage numbers, and then at the end it would be times amount plus 1. But I feel that, and I say this lovingly, the Iron Mike weapon is probably already going to be really fucking strong. And there's already changes to it that I intend that will make it more flat in its power. I think I already added one of them, didn't I? Where it's just going to have like a base damage instance of like 1. Like, so it's guaranteed to always do at least 1 damage. Yeah. It is guaranteed always to do at least 1 damage. Also, by the way, I do not think that should be a thing. I think it's supposed to be that from memory. Because I want, wait. No, it is... I don't think that's the equation I want it to be written as then. I think that's the correct equation, right? Yeah. So, okay, sorry, the change I just made there is probably a little confusing, but it was a bit of a move around. So, the idea of this weapon's damage, and this needs to be redone up, by the way, quite a bit. But for clarity's sake, so it does a base damage of 1, then it takes the healing that you've done in the last however long under cooldown, and those get added together, flat. So it does exactly that amount of damage. That's why you're seeing 3 a lot of the time for the healing, is because I would heal for 2 and then I'd get +1. Then this will be times by the weapon damage multiplier, which I think base is like 1. Right? Damage is 1.5. Okay. Maybe I'll need to look at that. So it should be times by the weapon damage multiplier, and then it should be at the end times by the global damage overall. So it'll do all of this a calculation, then it'll increase it by the global damage to increase it to its maximum potential. I think this technically squeezes out more damage. But it's just an easier number to track. I think the problem was why we were seeing 3, because actually now we should be seeing more than 3, is because the object true system, where I modify it on the fly. So this should be 4.5 now. Yeah, so it's a lot more. Yeah, so now it's the increase by 1, which puts it to 3, and then it's increased by half that, which is 1.5, so it puts it at 4.5 damage. There we go. Okay. Okay. No, this is actually quite interesting though, thinking on like some of these numbers. I'm tempted to make some macros for these instead, just to make this more malleable and easier to play with. Because I wonder, right? Okay. Would it be possible to make it so one of the upgrades, instead of like increasing how much EXP you get, it just shaves off one EXP you need for your next thing? That'd be interesting. Like the meta upgrades. So it's like instead of it'd be 9, 12, 15. That might throw the balance out real huge though. That's not something that can be done mid-game because it would probably fuck with the numbers quite a bit. And it could potentially lead to some very weird interactions. Might be very disastrous, but it sounds interesting, doesn't it? Kinda does. That might be an interesting idea. Okay, let me go grab my assets. Whoa, that's bright. So I have That's right, I haven't saved out the new one, have I? Alright. Okay. There we go. So if you're just wondering, that was some of the sprite assets that I made over the weekend. That's just been. Now, this one is the one I definitely need to modify. So I need to modify its 9 slice. So now, when modifying it, it works. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Cool. Oops. Okay. This one's a 9 slice. It's fine. I don't really need to tweak this one. And this one should also be fine. So oh, sorry. Brain running at several fucking miles per hour right now. Okay, I'm gonna fucking remove that because that is flashbanging me to the nth degree. Okay. So, okay, let me explain what I've actually just inputted for those interested. So the idea is that these slots will be what's probably going to be as the empty slot for equipment and weapons. So this will be behind where it would be. I'm going to lower its opacity just a little bit, but I'll do that in code because it's easier to control that way. This is supposed to be what I'm going to use for around the EXP bar for now, as a temporary thing, and this is going to be the background for the EXP bar. So this is going to be like behind where the EXP is. Now, to do this is so there is a big problem that I've had, and I think I'm going to have to make some macros for this. And I'm going to make them in the main controller, if I'm going to make them. Now, how is it done again to make a macro file? No, it's an enum macro I want to do, right? No, it's an enum I want to do, probably in general. Yeah, okay. So yeah, they're held as integers. Yeah, so macro is good for that. I want enum then. Yeah, there's the enum that I'm looking for. Because what did Max do again? I forgot that there's gonna open up over it. Oh shit, that's annoying. Oh, Game Maker's having a fucking moment. Okay, I'm gonna hide this because this is not mine. Yeah, no, he does have it as that way. Okay. Alright, fucking project. Jesus. Show him what I'm not allowed to show. Alright, so what was I... Fuck. What was I wanting to make the enum for again? I've completely forgotten. It was to set some exact values, but what was it for again exactly? There was something in particular I was thinking for, and I've completely forgotten. I love how this is a Sonic game from memory, right? The song. Kind of wild, isn't it? Alright, sorry, I'm going through a lot of things in my head, just trying to make sure I get everything down. It's not easy. Oh, pardon me. Because I know I wanted to do it potentially for the player EXP, right? Should be in here, right? So if you're wondering what an enum is, by the way, it's actually a really simple explanation. And it's really, really fascinating. So we can do it with this real quick. So if I go here, enum, we'll call it, All right. So I can put in actually no, I don't think I can. So, if I do this, do you want to know what happens? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. However, if I do, and this is the real fun part of this, I like enums. They're a very interesting thing to mess with. If I do this, what do you think happens to the rest of the code? So this was 0, then this was 1, then this was 2, because it starts at 0, that's how programming counts, or most languages count. But now this is 10. So does this, is this still 1? What is this? You see, it's 11. It just changes the base point. If I had changed this one, but not the one above, it would still be 0, and then say 13 in this case. And then this would be 14. Enums are very useful. Can I just actually write... Oh, it autofills. That's cool. So that's kind of how an enum works, in the simplest sense. Now, the smart thing to do would actually have this at compile time on the main controller. So these work like macros, these are global. They're basically like a global variable, but not. What I'm doing with these, so what's the difference between this and like a global variable is that this happens before compile, or like as compile happens, I believe, which means that this is basically me setting, it's, you know how like there's a lot of elements in this that you can see, like with true equals 1. It's a predetermined text that equals to a value. That's what this is. So this is equivalent to having true and false. So macros are really important because they're like this, but they can hold functions. But the problem is that they can't return. They can't augment. You cannot augment macros and enums post-compile time from memory. They're basically static variables, is how they'd normally be considered. I believe in this, they're just considered constants here. But yeah, you can also, a common way to use a macro would be to do like the random variables. Like if you want to make a random out of it, it would be actually a very valid way of doing it. But yeah, no, these sorts of things, macros and enums, cannot be edited post-compile time. They can be edited as much as you want prior, so you can actually fuck with them quite a bit in a variety of ways and kind of make parenting off of them, I believe. But you can't do much more. Oh. Also, enums are strictly numerical. They're 64-bit integers, so they can only be a number within the 64-bit integer range, which is a huge range, by the way. It's a few mil from memory, a few billion, sorry, actually. Actually, what is 64-bit integer limit? So minimum value of, yeah, I can't even read that. I'm gonna paste it here and you're gonna see that is the minimum range. The maximum range is that but positive, and instead of at the end of the 8, it's a 7. That is how large a 64-bit integer range is. So enums have that range available to them. Can you use them for a lot? Yes. That is a signed one though, because I believe unsigned is only positive. So it means it can't go below 0. I would assume, is enum signed or unsigned? In this, does it say? It's stored as N64. Yes, so that's signed. Okay, so I believe that means it can go negative then. Cool. I assume that's what the S means. Like if I do int 64S. It's looking like people say it's signed. Yeah. Okay. I feel like we've done a whole lot of like fucking nothing today. This is the problem with like the development stage I'm at, is that you don't get to see big amazing things happening a lot of the time. It's a lot of like micro adjustments, clean up and getting things to work. Now, that's actually what I need to do. So I need to figure out, that's fucking what I wanted the enums for. Okay, now I remember. Whoops, I just realized what I'd done. So what I'm doing here is something that I have been contemplating for ages. So technically speaking, you might not believe me on this, but Game Maker is actually a 3D game engine. Now you might sit there and go, what the fuck do you mean? It's 2D games that you're making. It's dealing with X and Y. There's no Z. Except there is. Say hello to depth. Depth is the Z value. So I can layer things above other things. Now, it may be very minor and you might sit there and go, well, that's a bit, but that is the case. What you actually see is that, yes, at the depth that everything is made, is the, if I make it a higher, a much greater negative depth, the closer it is to the screen. Negative 999 is the maximum depth that can be allowed for, and I believe 999 is the lowest something can be. So what I'm doing here is I'm presetting a bunch of values so I can guarantee positions. And again, it's because it's hard coding it basically. And hard coding these values here so I don't have to worry about it in the future. And if something goes wrong, I can tweak it here. It's a consistency's sake. Though I think I might give it a bit more of a berth because I'm gonna possibly have to fuck with a lot of things. So what this means is that whenever I would spawn the damage number, I actually want to spawn it at that depth. So I believe there's 2 instances of it being spawned. This is one. And here. Yep, right there. So this is the variable that we're going to change. Damage number depth. And then it's an enemy object, enemy parent is in, no, it's not in here, it's in weapon parent. There. So that's their depth done in a way that means that I don't need to worry about remembering what it is basically the argument. This does nothing more than just mean that I don't have to remember things. Now you could make an argument, oh, but you need to remember that you need to put in the enum value, put in the enum coordinator. It's like, well, okay, sure. But it means that I don't have to worry about remembering a specific number, and it means that I have to then go through my code and search and try and find it. That is the purpose, the porpoise. So do not underestimate doing this. It takes up fucking nothing to do most of the time. You can do this on pretty large scale and it not be any resources really getting used for it, and it just makes your life easier. That is the big point for that. Though to be fair, and I'll say this without like maybe alienating some people, but like a lot of competent intermediate programmers and above know this already. Like if you're really, really early on, it's fine not to know this, but it's something that you should learn. It's the same with pointers. Pointers will take you fucking potentially years to comprehend, but dear fucking god, you're going to want to use them. Especially once you start getting into object orientated programming. Dear god, if you do not know understand pointers for that, you are going to suffer. In fact, that was one of the big things I was learning to really clean up on, was that thing is, and I do want to point this out, I have a bad habit because Game Maker doesn't have pointers in it. Not to my understanding, at least. Well, no, okay, let me correct. It kind of does, but they're really not proper pointers. It's a lot of the time it's like the global dot, and the here is like the list dot. Like that's in a sense a pointer, but it's no. Right. So now that I have that done, there's actually a lot of things I can do really easily now. That makes things a little exciting, I have to say. For now, I should probably make a player UI handler. Now, I want to point out the reason why I'm doing this now. So in the main controller, we have the draw GUI system here. And this seems to work. It doesn't really have any problems, does it? Except it does. Because of the way that the game draws stuff and the way things are, this is going to be overlapping things I don't want it to overlap. In the later stages, I want to have a lot more control over that, which means it's actually better to do it in a draw event. So, with that being the case, we are going to yoink. Now I want to see if I can find... Is there a way to set the drawer depth? I recognize the song. Isn't this Hades? Oh yeah, it is. I love this song. It's a good one. Vertical axes, no. I don't want the... What is this? Okay, that doesn't quite seem what I want. Maybe. Oh. That might help a lot. Okay. So by default, tile is -50. Do I want to do it this way? This feels really weird. I don't know if I'm confident messing with this right now. Okay, and then we'll add this to the bullshit in the controller. Let's see if this worked. Yeah, okay, so it worked, but it's still done that thing, which is the weakness of not drawing to the GUI. So you might wonder what the fuck happened. Why is it that it worked before and it doesn't now? That's because I need to do... this. Everywhere now. So what I'm doing here, if you're wondering, I don't know if I need to really explain this as well, but I will nonetheless. Now, because it's no longer drawing to the GUI, 0 is no longer just the top corner, it's now the room 0. So that means I need to tell it where the current camera is. Or the camera's XY position, the relevant one that I need. So now this should work correctly. See? Yeah, that's annoying. Here's my enemy controller. So did that fix that issue? Nope. So that's not gonna work that way. Okay. Okay. I think I do need to start fucking with this, which I'm not happy about. Yeah, no, I can't do that. Okay. Whoops. Didn't mean to pull that out. Okay, not above it now. So, I think I do need to just start playing with layers. Okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Okay. I think I'm understanding what I need to do. Yeah. Okay. That's a little annoying. I've got an idea for it and I'll clean it up probably another time because I want to try and start implementing at least the XP bar. I think it would be nice. I just realized I didn't rename any of those. Let's hide for that one. Also, I just realized it's not bar that I want for this one, it's the background. No, it's bar. So does this look nice in game? I did that wrong. Oh, that's why. Oh, that needs to be fixed. Yeah, no, I know that's what's happening there. Oops, don't need it there. I just need to change this to Y. I still got it wrong. That's right. Oh no, I don't need to have it here. Because these are set to width, not a second thing. So I do actually need these as height, which means I need to do... Oops. Now, I also know something that I do need to fix, but I know how to fix it. I'll fix it in a bit. Okay, that's fucking tiny. This is a 10th of the screen. There's no way this is correct. 5. Now I'll fix the thing that I'm thinking about right now. I thought I didn't need to 9 slice this, I just realized I do. There we go. I forgot that detail of what I'm doing. Okay. So we go back here. Is that correct? I think that's correct, but it's still too wide. It's gonna fill out the side, yeah. Okay, so first of all, is this supposed to just be white to make it nothing? Or is this gonna make it white? It's just gonna make it white. Okay, what the fuck is none? Oh, show back. Stupid ass, dumbass. All right. So I need this to be... We'll do that for the moment and see if I can increment it into the correct spot. Actually, you know what? I should probably have background showing just for this case. Just because it's faster. Still off. That might be too much. I mean, the problem is that this isn't scaling correctly. So at least that's within. I can tell that for certain. Yeah, that looks like it works. Cool. That's not the correct one, yeah, because that moves around really interesting. Okay, so this needs to be, 20 is too much.
Just as I was about to give up, something deep inside made me realize it's in it to the unknown, losing my own control. I was sacrificed for the center of every drop of my blood letting go of my sanity from within.
Okay. Alright. So if you're wondering why, by the way, I switched this to right hang line, this means that it's just like, it writes from right and goes that way. The reason why that's beneficial is because it means that I put it on that side and it's not going to be weird scaling. So as the number increases, it will just move across as it needs. I will probably change the scale though to go 3 for now. Just to make it a little bit smaller. Don't want to make it too much smaller is the thing. That's a little too much, so we'll go 4 then. That looks nice. Okay. Then let's add an actual health bar quickly. Actually, how do I calculate that again? It's in the controller. Player health. Global player health is what I need. Okay. It's also too high, but I'll fix that in a second. Yeah, it's a nice health bar. For now, at least. Right. So with that there, now I'm gonna grab this. And then I need to pull... That should be about right. So that should now give us some little numbers next to the thing, saying 50 out of 50. Okay, cool. I need to move that down a little bit. Just to make it feel like it's a bit more in line. Too far, so 6 is fine, probably. What do we think? Much nicer? So now I just need to make the level visible, which we can just move the kill score down a little bit and put it more or less there. I think that sounds actually pretty reasonable. do you think there? Is that positioned right? It could be a little bit more than that. I don't know, 25 seems like it's going to be a little too much. I don't know if I quite want that much gap, but we'll do this for now. No, that seems fine. Alright. All key information is now available on screen. I do need to move these around a little bit, but I also need to make a border so it's actually much more discernible that I need to move them around. Because at the moment, like, it would just be guessing things. I think this is working out rather well. This looks actually a lot more like a game. Like, we've got a couple of things that I still need to do, and that's gonna be just the constant fight, I feel, that I'm gonna have. But what do we think? I think this is nice. I think the bordering might be a little too big, so I might see if I change the scale system on it, if that'll make it look a little nicer. So if I increase that, yep, no, you can see it goes and changes, cool. And isn't that HP bar doesn't get weirdly warped, which is a big worry, obviously. Okay. At this point in time, I don't think there's much else that I really want to change. So I'm in a weird situation where I kind of want to do UI art more than anything. Like, I just want to keep getting the designs looking nice. I will possibly use a couple of placeholders here and there. Like, I'm going to probably use the current button thing for the upgrade menu for a little while. That's my intention anyway. I'm going to do that and probably next time, actually, because we are on time. But I think more or less where the game's at now, it looks a lot nicer. I want to see what happens if I remove the 9 slice from the SP bar to see if that actually would look better. Because I'm wondering if that actually is slightly a problem on it. Oh, that looks horrendous. Sorry. No, it will look worse with it. Okay. My bad. I didn't realize. I could. I don't know how I feel about this. That looks actually a lot nicer, I'm gonna be honest. So I need to now change the bar to accommodate that. Let's remove these numbers and see where we're at now. A little bit. Maybe actually genuinely 1 or 2. Bit more. Go to 3. If this doesn't quite work, I have another thing that I might be tempted to do, which is actually shrink the total bar size a little bit as well. Ah, that looks about right. Okay, I want to change something quickly that I just saw there. No, it's not done in here. Okay, if you're wondering why I did that, I want to see if I can give a good example of it in a second. Okay, it didn't work. It's because of the way I have it in the fucking system. Alright. I was kind of half hoping that I could make it, nah, I know why it wouldn't work. Okay. would that fix it? I say fix it, would it be sketchy enough to work? So, okay, let me explain what I'm trying to aim for right now is I'm trying to see if I can catch it with the full bar while paused, because that's a much more like satisfying visual than seeing it completely empty. No, it just deletes it. Okay. That's not what I wanted. There is another answer that requires stuff in... So, okay, why did it just disappear? Well, that's because technically speaking, a draw event is a step event, but on a different name. Yeah, genuinely, that's pretty much the case. It's just a thing by a different name. I'm gonna see if this works better. If this doesn't work, then I'll revert and we'll leave it for now. That's actually worse. It shows it before it gets the XP. Can I move when the pause occurs? Oh, that's the other way of doing it. I want to see if that is enough to get it in. Yeah, I had a feeling that that would be how that works. If you're wondering, Enter is going to do some real fucked up things to the leveling, because it's my dev test tool anyway. Okay, that doesn't work. No, I'm just going to give up on it then. But nonetheless, I think the stuff that I've done in here, so take this back to the draw event. And then we'll just delete these. So there we go. That's the state the game's in now. I want to draw a couple of more UI elements and sprites, I think, to just give like, for example, all the weapons I do kind of want to make a little basic sprite for at some point, and then I'm gonna just work on weapons. I think that's where we're at now. Whoops, that's back in there, isn't there? Yep, get rid of that. But I think we're nearing a point where I can actually confidently say the game's doing well. I can do a big cheat thing and really up how much the game feels nicer. How nice the game feels. And here's where I spill out a dirty secret for game developers. Sound gets you more points than you might ever realize. You have no idea how much sound just influences how a game feels. Like, genuinely. As people that play games, you'll never realize it, how much it actually matters until you play a game muted. Play your favorite game muted, like completely muted, no sound going on whatsoever on your computer, and try and play it through like that. Like, play a game of League, or whoever has that as their favorite game, Jesus. But try doing that, and you'll go stir crazy. It feels painful. And that's kind of the point. Like, at the moment, this game probably doesn't feel too bad because you've got my commentary and you've got the music in the background. But if I removed all of that, this would actually be a really awful experience by comparison of what it is capable of. But yeah, no, I'm feeling quite happy with this so far. Again, there's always work to be done, right? Always going to be work to be done. But that, I think, is enough for today. I have got a lot that I need to do. A lot. But so, again, this is the real talk moment right near the end. Then I'll do a spiel afterwards and then we can all go. I do not think I can make more development time on this at the moment than stream and then maybe a little in the weekend. The reason why I phrase it this way, at the moment I have been working a lot more than I should be. I'm actually putting both my health at risk and I'm negatively impacting those around me. So I'm going to be a bit smarter about this because with university going to be hammering my time as much as it is, I need to be more careful with my time. Now, this does not mean I'm going to stop streaming. Do not worry about that. What this does mean is that, for example, with the Get development streams like this, it is a very good shout that bugger all is going to happen between them. In fact, outside of anything I might do on the weekend, which I'm going to avoid, there will be no changes really done to this. There might be some asset work done between now and then, if I'm lucky. Otherwise, yeah, when we come back, it'll be working on weapons and stuff like that. That's going to be how things are going to go. I do still really hope I could release a rough copy of the game at the end of the month. If I get the free time for that, I will, but that's not looking likely because I've also got work things popping up. So, needless to say, it's just the world is conspiring to not give me time. So yeah, I wish I could give nicer news about that, but it genuinely is the case. So I am going to seriously take my time a bit more carefully and manage it a bit better. So with that being the case though, thank you once again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, consider leaving a like or a comment on the video. It'd be very much appreciated. Helps the video out and the channel more than you might know. It also helps you out finding the content easier in the future. Also, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the notification bell to find out when I go live, as well as follow me over on Twitter where I do post when I'm going live, as well as if there is any technical difficulties like there was today, I post over there because I was posting a little bit about it as I went. There's nothing really big to talk about for the rest of this week. Friday still might be kind of like a slightly short stream. I say slightly short. It might be I just finished like a 10-20 minutes earlier, basically on 8 o'clock. If that is the case, then that's going to be permanently the case, and I will change the schedule to reflect that. Aside from that though, going through all of the stuff on my list, nothing else. I also want to mention about Star Rail content, because I feel like I want to say this in a video, and then I might make a comment on Twitter about this. The reason why it's not being done at the moment is because there's not anything to do. The update is coming in like 10 hours, 9 hours. I'm still probably not going to stream it because the thing that I feel would be more interesting to watch is, yeah, sure, completing some story content would be cool, but you want to see someone pull gacha. I'm not going to be pulling this new banner coming. I'm saving. So no, I won't be probably streaming until the next banner. Now, I think that is a good point to wrap up on. So yeah, once again, thank you so much for watching. You're awesome. Stay awesome. And I hope to see you again next time when I'm maybe, hopefully, not so fucking exasperated. Till then, though, bye.